Hello, DigiDustin, and welcome to the King's Court. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit different now. In the past, obviously, I've done deck profiles on Gaiomon, slash, Black War Greymon, all that stuff. And usually I play the red base. I've also done the Turbo Dragonkin build before in the past that a lot of people seem to really like. So I know that there are a lot of people who prefer the black base. So I wanted to go over that here. This is a build I was able to start playtesting more often lately. And I've played against a friend's Gallantmon. I think I played against, and not Machine Magidramon, and this deck's actually pretty good. So I wanted to go over it here because, like I said, I know there are a lot of people who really like the black base, and also because we're not far. We're about, I want to say, yeah, we're about the 20th, I think. So yeah, we're less than a month away from the pre-release of the next set. So, no, not the next set of Cyber Eden. So I wanted to update the decks here first before the new set, the next EX set, comes out, because there are some cards there I do want to give a try here in the deck. But besides all that, that's pretty much everything I wanted to go over. So if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. I'd love to read them. And overall, just let me know what you think of the deck, and let me know in the comments. What do you think is going to, like? Are you excited for not just the new Black War Greymon? I'm so excited, but also hopefully when we get it revealed, the new Gaiomon we should be getting in Cyber Eden. Hopefully we get that card revealed soon. Fingers crossed. So that's pretty much all I wanted to go over. So like I said, this is the black base for the deck, and obviously with the black base, we're playing the structure deck Koromon. I'm not gonna lie, this Koromon, it's not bad. I'm hoping eventually we get a better black Koromon, or just, maybe like a better black Digitama we could use in general. Because, powering up our Digimon by 1,000 is okay, but I don't know. I feel like there could be, there's better options, hopefully down the line. Okay, just like always, start with the Digimon. First, 4 of the structure deck Agumon. This card is actually really good. The fact that at the beginning of our turn, if we promote this from the raising area, we get a memory as long as our opponent has a Digimon. So this card is really good, and the fact that if a attack target is switched, like raid or blocking or redirecting, our we get a memory back, and those little memories can pile up. And it's not just our turn; it's all turns. So if we do the same thing to our opponent during their turn, we'll get a memory back, and during our turn as well. So 3 of the black Agumon X. This card is honestly just way better than the red one. The fact that we can search for a Tamer, and it has the same ability as, Greymon X, the one that's at 1. The fact that we get protection with this card, as long as we have the X antibody. So I've always preferred this version, honestly. So 3 of this one. You don't actually need to max out. Plus, with this one, you don't need to actually max out on your Greymon X either. I'm also playing 3 of BT12 Agumon because, honestly, searching is great, but the fact that we can not only... We usually want our structure deck Agumon in the raising area, so we can easily use this to search, and then we can even Digivolve Agumon X on top of this card, so 3 of it is fine. Although, if you want, you could cut down the structure deck Agumon to 2, and just max both of these out if you want. I've done that too before. So that's 10 right there. Next one. Time for the Greymons. I really like this card. 3 of the structure deck Greymon. This card is not only a blocker, but the fact that it has a security effect where we can play a Tai or an Agumon. So this card is really good, and I'm so sorry if you hear that. I guess the siren's going by. Sorry about that. 2 BT12 Greymon, and I'm actually liking this card. 2 BT21 Greymon. This is because I am playing the EX4 or EX3 Gaiomon. That Gaiomon doesn't have reboot, so there are a couple times where I'm going to need this one because it gives reboot. So this card's not bad. Plus, the whole forcing an opponent's Digimon to attack can actually come up. And because we don't kind of max out, obviously, if I would, I would max out Greymon X, but Unfortunately, right now we can't. So one Gaiomon X virus and two of the red one. So again, what if I could? Hopefully someday we get this card back. We get this back to 4. Hopefully. All right, 3 BT12 Metal Gaiomon and 3 Metal Gaiomon X. The Metal Gaiomon X should be self-explanatory, and I play through this Metal Gaiomon because I want that ability, the raid, in order to activate not only its effect to play Tamers from hand, but also the ability to just have our Greymons and our Agumons get their abilities when an attack target switched. Because again, those memories pile up. So this one, you can play other Metal Greymons like the structure deck one that gives you next security, or the BT8 one that digivolves, but again, the whole redirecting is really useful. 3 EX4 Gaiomon, love this card. And oh man, this card is this gas. 3 of the promo Gaiomon. I love this card so much. The fact that it's a built-in blocker and reboot, so we don't have to worry about the tie. But the fact that it forces our opponents to Digimon to attack during their turn, and it gets to attack as well when it digivolves. So it's kind of like a soft blitz. I really like this card a lot. And I'm still rocking 2 of the classic BT9 Gaiomon because that blitz and hitting for security just does come up sometimes. Plus, there are times where I'd rather use this Gaiomon to go into this one. So you could honestly cut maybe these two. If you got them, you could play on the X, which I have done before, but there are times where, because this is the black base, it's a little more control than pure offensive like the red ones in the past. But you could honestly just cut this and probably play like this, like 2 of these, or maybe like a 1-1 of this one and the Blitz Omnimon if you want. And that's actually all the Digimon right there. Let's see. Let's go with the Tamers first. 3 of the 3-drop Tai Kamiya and 2. Oh shoot, dropped 1. Sorry about that. 2 of the Memory Setter. Obviously we want the 3-drop to power up and give blocker, but the fact that this tie is honestly, there are times I'd rather play this one over this one, like 3 of this and 2 of this instead. Because the ability when an attack target switch, I get to draw a card and my Digimon gains like a bunch of attack, 2000 TP, does pile up. So there are times I'd rather play this one. I really like this tie, honestly. I gotta get that alt art though, the 3-drop. That really nice one. 4 Garnet Memory Boost and 2 Black Scramble. Really quick, if you only got Red Scramble, you can get away with it, but I prefer Black Scramble because the fact that there are times where we want like one of our an Agumon or something to put back to the top of the deck. That's why I prefer this one. Because this Agumon, yeah, you can use with the Red Scramble, but the other 2 are actually both black. So that's why preferably Black Scramble is the better way to go. And I know Garnet Memory actually has gone up in price too, which I'm not really sure why. I guess there's a lot of hype for the new Black or Greymon or stuff like that. But hey, if you have your set, great, go with that. But if you can't, if you don't have it, you can play Black. What's it called? Defense training. The training boost for Black instead. You can play that instead. Since pretty much everything here counts as black, so you can get away with those. And the obvious ones, 3 X antibody. You got to play 3 because honestly in this build in the black base, because your Agumon X also need the X antibody to give you protection. So 3 is necessary, and 2 Hades Force just for backup in your security, because there are times these days, a lot of Digimon are really big, so having this just blow them up is just really necessary. Plus, it's really good for if you're playing against decks the hybrids, obviously, stuff like what's it called, Blue Flare. Now a lot of decks are still very heavily Tamer reliant, so this card always comes up. So it's definitely my favorite option card. So that's actually the entire deck right there. Like I said, this is the black base, so it's a little more defensive slash control-y than the red one that we usually use. But hopefully, with the new set coming out in the future, and honestly, the new Black or Greymon coming out soon, we get some more cards that really help both versions. And that way, it kind of like mixes the two. But we'll see what happens. So let me know in the comments what you think. And if you have any suggestions, I'd love to read them. And overall, just have a great week. Take care. Bye.